Hi, I'm Scott Bell, and welcome back to Save Yourself Personal Finance. Today we're going to talk about 10 things you can do right now to get out of debt. So, let's get started. Thanks for being here, and as always, don't forget to support the channel by hitting the like and subscribe buttons below, and leave a comment or two, or three, why not? It really does make a difference and helps me reach people who really need some help. Now, let's get right to it. In the first 3 months of 2021, credit card debt actually dropped a surprising amount. It appears that as people receive stimulus checks, they pay down credit card debt. However, in the last 3 months, as of now, August 2021, credit card debt has begun to rise again as a result of the combination of no new stimulus on the horizon and consumer spending being way up as businesses start to reopen. On top of all that, as of the time of making this video, unemployment benefits are set to expire. What that all means is that very soon there are going to be a lot of people dealing with debt. So let's talk about what you can do starting today to save yourself. And keep in mind that some of these you've heard before. I mean, we're not reinventing the wheel here, but it's good to hear them again to reinforce these principles so that, you're more likely to follow through. First, the first rule when you're digging yourself into a hole is to stop digging. Whatever you may be doing to make your situations worse, stop it today, right now. That means do not incur any new debt, okay? You can't make your situation better if you're making it worse. 2, find out where you are debt-wise, okay? This means add up all your debt and separate it out into the type of debt that it is. First, credit cards and personal loans. Any debt that is what we refer to as unsecured, meaning there's no collateral associated with it, okay? This can be kind of tricky because if you bought a refrigerator, say, at Best Buy, then the refrigerator is the collateral for the loan, even though it was bought on a Best Buy credit card. If you purchase something on a more run-of-the-mill Visa or MasterCard, then those are considered unsecured, and what you bought is not the collateral. 2, secured loans or loans with collateral. For example, if you bought furniture and say jewelry and you're making payments on those, then the furniture or the jewelry is the collateral for the loan. And if you don't make the payments, the store or finance company can demand the return of the collateral. Okay, third kind of debt, car loans. If you owe money on a car, then the car is the collateral for the loan. This can actually be kind of confusing because I've had many clients say that they don't owe money on their car, but then when we pull up their credit, we discover that they took out what is known as a title loan on their car. That means they gave a loan company the pink slip to their car in exchange for the loan. Now, make no mistake, that's basically a car loan, okay? And if you don't make those payments, you'll come out one day to go to work or something and your car won't be there. The fourth kind of debt I want to mention is mortgage debt, okay? This is what you owe on liens on your house, okay, if you have a house. So you want to add up these types of debt to see where you're starting from, okay? You can't know how to get where you're going if you don't know where you're starting from, and so we need to know that. For most people, once they see how much they owe, it can be pretty shocking, okay? After 20 years of helping people with their finances, what I've found is that more often than not, people make more than they think they do, but they also owe more than they think they do, okay? And this can be kind of a real come to Jesus moment for people as they start to really come face to face with their debt. Third, find out where you are income-wise. Okay, the debt is only half the equation. We also need to know what your income is. What we want to know is what is your take-home income per month. Okay, this can be pretty simple to figure out if you have a regular job and regular income. If you don't, then average your net or take-home income over the last 3 months and adjust it up or down slightly to more accurately reflect what your income situation is going to be moving forward. If you expect your income to go up in the near future, then bump the number up a little bit, okay? If you expect your income to go down in the near future, then bring it down a little, okay? If you don't have regular income, you'll just have to kind of estimate what you expect your take-home income to be going forward. Do the best you can, okay? Fourth thing, here's the super boring part, okay? Make a budget. If your income is high enough that you don't need a budget and you don't look in your wallet at the grocery store to see if you can buy steak or ramen noodles, then making a budget isn't super critical for you right now, although you should still have a budget. But if that's not you, then you need to do this. And I get it. It sucks to have to make a budget. Oh, man, I know. But it's crucial to making a plan. Think of your budget as the directions you need to get from where you are to where you're going, okay? I have some links below to some sites where you can set up a basic budget, okay? What we really want to know is how much do you have left over after paying for necessaries like rent, food, and utilities? That's going to be your weapon in fighting the debt. 5, start your emergency fund. Now, I differ with a lot of people here because I believe that you pay yourself first before Citibank and Wells Fargo. You may not be in a position to set aside 30% or even 10% of your take-home income right now, or wake up tomorrow with 6 months of expenses set aside, and I get it. So set a small goal, like $100, okay, set aside that you don't touch. I think a good rule of thumb is to set aside 10% of your after necessary expenses for your emergency fund. Okay, example, if you have $100 left over after rent, food, and utilities, put $10 of that away. If you have $500 left over after paying rent, food, and utilities, then put $50 into the emergency fund. Ultimately, you want to have 1 month, then 3 months, then maybe even 6 months. Dream big, of living expenses set aside. But all we want right now is a commitment to taking baby steps. That's all. Just get started. 6, try to negotiate your debts. Okay, this isn't easy either. I mean, who wants to call Citibank and say, hey, I need some help? But it's one way to help get your monthly expenses down. Call the credit card companies to ask if they can lower the interest rate and your payment as a result. Honestly though, despite what some people say, I haven't found the credit card companies to be very helpful in this regard, but as I tell clients, it never hurts to ask, and all options need to be on the table. If the creditors are, in fact, willing to work with you, that's great. But remember 2 critical things. 1, get everything in writing, either by email or snail mail. I can't tell you how many times a bankruptcy client would tell me that they agreed to something with the creditor only to be told later on, sorry, that guy doesn't work here anymore and there are no notes on your account. Also, don't do anything until you get that confirming email from the creditor so all parties know what to expect and what's going to happen. And the second thing is never, ever, ever give access to your bank accounts to anyone. Again, many clients come to me saying that the creditor took more than they had agreed upon, or the creditor took money out of their account more times than what they agreed to. Trust me, it happens. And since you voluntarily agreed to allow the creditor access to your checking account, it has been my experience that banks are very hesitant to stop the withdrawals, meaning you may have to close that account completely and open up a different account. No matter what, you stay in control of your money and don't give that away to anyone. 7, lower some of your monthly expenses. Do you need cable? What about switching to streaming services like YouTube TV instead of cable? Or maybe stop paying completely, for channels that you don't really watch anyway. What about getting rid of your landline if you have one? Also, you can try to get on electricity plans that average out your monthly bills to lower them so that in the summer they're lower, okay, than they might normally otherwise be. Some more kind of obvious things are eating out less or not at all, and planning your meals and grocery shopping accordingly. Number 8, make the minimum payments on your debts if you can. If you can't even do this, we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But once you've started paying the necessaries like rent, food, and utilities, as well as car payments and insurance, and crucially, you started contributing to your emergency fund, then it's time to focus on getting your unsecured debts paid. If you have extra money left over after paying for all this, go party. No, don't do that. Don't do that. There'll be time and money for partying later when you're financially secure. Right now, focus on the smallest debts you have and throw all your extra money at those first. Okay, what we're trying to do here is pay the smallest debts first. Then when those are paid off, go to the next smallest one and then the next smallest one after that, and on until all of your unsecured debts are paid. Now, why not start with the largest debt first, then go down from there? There are a few reasons. One, as the smallest accounts get paid, you'll be working towards making fewer payments every month, which makes it easier to follow through. 2, it will help your credit scores because not only will the amount of your outstanding debt be reduced, but the number of accounts owed will be reduced, which will make your credit scores go up faster than only by reducing the amount of debt you owe alone. And third, and really this might be the most important thing, is that paying off debt and addressing your financial issues is hard. And it can really be a grind month after month. By paying off accounts, you can see that you're making real progress towards your goals. It makes the process a little easier to go through when you see real, tangible progress. As I've talked about, so much of money is not numbers, okay, but it's about your attitude about money. And here at Save Yourself Personal Finance, we aim to take a more holistic overall approach to our finances and our lives. Okay. 9, what if you can't pay the minimums and the other strategies we've talked about aren't enough to put you on the plus side? Always start with the necessaries first: rent, food, utilities. Then prioritize transportation. You need to get to work. And if it comes down to it, don't pay your unsecured debts. Okay, you need the money worse than Citibank. Trust me on that. Obviously, your credit will take a hit, but we're in survival mode here. Yes, the collectors are going to harass you for missing your payments, but stay calm. Tell the collectors what your situation is. They might be able to work with you at this point, even if they wouldn't negotiate with you like we talked about a few minutes ago. Ultimately, if you can't pay them, then you just can't. Okay, remember, the creditors can't do anything to you without filing a lawsuit, serving you with it, waiting for you to file a response, and getting a judgment. Then they still have to find you to garnish your wages or levy your bank accounts in states where they're allowed to do that. That's really a several-month process, plus they have to get to the point of suing you. That could be a year or more if they sue you at all. Okay. Hit the subscribe button below to be notified when I publish a video on the process of getting sued and how to deal with it, which will be very soon, I promise. Also, if you've been sued, leave a comment below telling me about your experience. But no matter what, don't be afraid of creditors and don't get angry or emotional with them. Okay. I've heard clients tell me that they were told by collections people things like, stay where you are, the sheriff is on the way to arrest you, but if you make a payment now, I can call them off. Or if you don't make a payment now, we'll call your family and your neighbors to tell them how bad you are. Keep in mind this is illegal, but they know you're probably not going to do anything about it, so they can get away with that kind of nonsense. Don't be afraid of them, no matter what, okay? Okay. I get a little worked up. Gertie, want a treat? Gertie, want a treat? Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh. That's a good girl. Okay. 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 All right. Okay. All right. I feel a little better now. Okay. Sorry, I get worked up when I think about some of this stuff. Anyway, stay calm, cool, and collected, even if they aren't. 10. Increase your income. This could be as simple as asking for a raise at your job. It could also be starting a side hustle, like delivering for Instacart or something like that. I have a family member who says she's the $200 queen because if she needs a quick $200, she logs into Uber Eats and generates some quick income. Now, despite what you may think of these companies and their business models, we're here not to be political or philosophical, but to be practical. This is survival. Being political is luxury for another time. So that's 10, but hey, let's throw in a bonus, okay? If you've made it this far, let's throw this in. The 11th thing you can do to help yourself get out of debt. Yes, talk to a bankruptcy attorney, especially if you're in a position where you can't pay your bills. Always look at every option, and bankruptcy is a legitimate tool designed to give you a fresh start. I will definitely do a video soon talking about the pros and cons of bankruptcy, as well as the process of what happens after a bankruptcy. But ultimately, I don't want you to struggle paycheck to paycheck, or worse, for years if you don't have to. I've turned away plenty of potential bankruptcy clients when I was able to suggest other ways to address their financial issues that didn't require them to file bankruptcy. Always look at all of your options. If you found this video useful, hit the like and subscribe buttons below. It really helps the channel, and leave a comment or two, okay? Or 3, why not? It helps ensure that the channel is recommended to more people who, like you, may be struggling financially in these crazy times and need some help to save themselves. Thanks. Now, cue the generic YouTube music.